Welcome to the I'm Excited podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. While it's often serious, this one is obviously silly. So without further ado, if you don't mind, I'm just going to jump straight into the silliness. I'm not the most observant person in the world. It was the death of my middle school teaching career, a career that lasted all of 1 year. The resulting therapy, however, lasted just a little bit longer. Add to that the fact that I am not a very punctual person. I am about as punctual as Egyptian hieroglyphics. I'm about as likely to arrive on time somewhere as I am to win the lottery without buying a ticket. So put those two together and you have the following story. A few months ago, I got to work 45 minutes late. Now that is frustrating for more than just the reasons I explained to you, because I only live 14 miles from work. But during the school year, Monday through Thursday, it takes me over an hour to get there. Oh yeah, I could save about 5 to 10 minutes if I wanted to take the north, take a toll on your wallet way and spend about 14 bucks a day just for the pure privilege of getting to and from work. No thank you. So yes, it takes me over an hour to get to work, meaning that if across the street you had a granny and a high-powered electric wheelchair, and you can guarantee her she'd never have to stop or slow down on her way. If she took off from her house and I took off from mine in my car at the same time, she'd beat me to work. You can see it, can't you? I'd be at a red light, stop and go traffic, look over to the sidewalk, and there she'd be going down the road. And you just know she'd turn her head and give me that evil granny grin. So yes, it's very frustrating trying to get to work. And it's even worse now, because I bought a Mitsubishi Mirage. They call it a Mirage because the fourth cylinder is a Mirage. That engine only has 3 cylinders. They don't measure that engine in terms of horsepower. They measure it in terms of pony power. And forget gunning it. Oh yeah, you can bow and arrow it every now and then. Water pistol it maybe. But if you want to take a left turn, not at a red light, in front of oncoming traffic, here's what you do. A, have a pair of binoculars with you. B, look through said binoculars to see if you see anything moving your way. C, if something is moving your way, don't you dare move. D, if nothing's coming your way, then proceed not with caution, because if you proceed with caution, you're likely to get run over. But proceed throwing caution to the wind. So yes, it's even more frustrating now. But all that to say, I got to work 45 minutes late. And so I ran to the bathroom, and that's when I noticed something rather peculiar. There was a beam of light shining through my pants. Now I love beams of light, don't get me wrong. Sunbeams, moonbeams. Now I believe in God. To me, they're signs of God's beauty and wonder. And God said, hey, I'm here, I love you, come learn me, follow me, etc. A beam of light shining through one's pants, however, well, that's a sign of the other guy. And so I looked closely, and sure enough, I had a very big problem in a very bad place. In case you are listening to the audio version of this, there was a gaping hole right beneath the zipper of my work pants. So I thought to myself, what in the world am I going to do? I can't just take another hour to go back home. I got to get to work. And so I said to myself, okay, let's just calmly get back to our desk, just kind of smoothly, casually. No one will notice a thing, and then we'll just go from there. So yes, I casually walked back to my desk. Looked like my grandfather did after he had 2 artificial hips, walking duck style. And so I got to my desk. Fortunately, no one noticed they were all wrapped up in their own work to notice me waddling across the room. I sat down and I thought to myself, okay, all right, what's the worst that can happen here? It's going to be okay. Just calm down. What's the worst that can happen? Oh, David. It was my manager. Sir? Sir? Yes, sir? I want you to come over here and look at something with me. Oh! you want me to get up and come stand by you while you sit there and show me something on your screen? Yes. Sure! No problem. So he goes back to his desk, which fortunately was not very far from mine. I'll walk over there and stand as if my legs had been super glued together and then bound by zip ties. And my poor boss, he's explaining whatever in the world he was wanting to explain to me in that moment. But to me, my mind was so on my problem at the time that to me he sounded like the teacher in the old Charlie Brown cartoons. And fortunately / unfortunately, because I am a master at faking that I'm listening, I just asked my son and my wife. I was just, yes sir, I'll get right on that sir, without really having a clue as to what he was talking about. So he finishes up, doesn't notice a thing. I get back to my desk. And so I'm sitting there thinking, what in the world am I going to do? I can't just waddle my way around the office the rest of the day. And that is when years upon years of Bible training came into such wonderful use. Came in oh so handy, literally. Because, believe it or not, in one of the very first stories of the Bible, they had a very similar problem. Adam and Eve, when they ate the forbidden fruit and then all of a sudden realized that birthday suits had gone out of style. So what did they do? They sewed fig leaves together. And that's basically what I did the rest of the day. I fig leafed my way around the office. Everywhere I went, I conveniently had something in my hand in a very strategic place. Paper plate. Oh, I sure am hungry today. Paper towel. Oh, you just never know when I'm going to spill something. Okay, that part is true. In fact, I was so bad at spilling things as a child that to this day, I literally suffer from PTSD, post-traumatic spill disorder. I got so many death stares from my sisters and my dad. Now, Mom couldn't, her death stare was about as threatening as the purr of a kitten. Okay, but yes, for the rest of them, I got so many death stares and I just freaked out so badly from all the spills that I kid you not, about a month ago, my wife and I were on the couch watching K-drama. K-drama, most of it is romantic stuff. Think Hallmark movies, except it's spread out over a TV series. And they actually put some thought into the plot. So yes, we're watching K-drama, drama, and all of a sudden, without warning, a drink spills. My little reaction was, if you had no idea what I was watching, and you just saw my reaction, you would have thought I was watching a horror flick. Well, for me it was Nightmare on Spill Street. So, yes, even to this day, I freak out at spills. So, yes, I fig-leafed my way around the office the rest of the day. Now, being the comedian wannabe that I am, I held on to these pants thinking, oh my goodness, this is comedy gold. I have got to hold on to these things. So I took them and stored them in my office for a while, which was fine. Until one day I decided, oh man, my office it's just cluttered. I got to clean this thing up. So I took the pants with the hole in them and laid them off to the side of the pants that I normally wear. Great idea. What could go wrong with that, being as observant as I am? So sure enough, a few weeks later, I'm on my way to work, stop at a gas station. I get the handle, I turn, only to notice the reason that my pants had been air conditioned all morning. Once again, I was wearing the holey ones. But fortunately that day, I was by a Target, so I just ran over there to Target and got some it fits close enough pair of work pants and made it through the day. Well, David, I'm so glad you learned your lesson, didn't embarrass yourself like that again. Stop it! You who have common sense. No! Of course I did not learn my lesson. Of course I put the pants, once again, right by the ones I normally wear. And once again, a couple of months later, I get to work. I'm walking in the door. I look down and I think to myself, wow, this is such a lovely pair of blue pants. I haven't worn these in quite some time. Sure enough, I had them on again. Well, being experienced in this matter, I said to myself, okay, I'm not going to buy another pair of work pants. I'm just going to fig-leaf my way around the office again, and we'll go from there. We'll make it through the day. That's what I was doing. In fact, at one point, I was walking around, maybe it was a paper plate, maybe it was a paper towel. I had my wireless headphones on, listening to one of our meetings about information security. When Adam Duarte, for those of you who know him, maybe if my co-workers listen to this, said the following line, and I quote, "We just want to make sure that nothing gets exposed." You're telling me? How did he know? So yes, that literally happened. And I'm proud to say that I finally stopped wearing the holey pants to work. Otherwise, I might get fired. Speaking of cussing, I've wrestled with the rightness, the wrongness, the should I, the shouldn't I, through the years of whether or not to cuss and is it okay at times and things like that. But wherever I've landed on the subject, there's one thing that has always puzzled me. That just doesn't make sense. It's our use of the F-bomb. Because I hate to tell you this, for those of you who've not really thought this through, but whenever you use the abbreviation for Faulkner University on someone, you're actually giving them kind of a compliment. Because when you really think about what the word means and what you're saying, it's kind of like you're going, Oh yeah? Well, I think you're hot. And you're not so bad looking either. And then we use the F-bomb as an adjective with inanimate objects, like door, for example. As if a door will all of a sudden become unhinged at the side of a window. Or someone will say, man, I need to buy a big car. I know there's been advances in automobile technology, a lot of them lately, but I really don't think they've come out with a car that does that yet. And honestly, I hope they never do. So no, I don't understand our use of the F-bomb. There's one more rather embarrassing story along these lines that I will share, and it may get edited out if my son doesn't like it. Because we have a bathroom issue. The master bathroom that my wife and I use has some sort of leak in it underneath the shower. In the shower basin, somewhere underneath all the tiles, someone's going to have to come through and, do very expensive repairs on it. Yay! So, for the time being, my son, who's temporarily, staying with us, hoping to move out in the next few months, we have to use his bathroom. So, the other day I took a shower, and on one of the rails was some older, broken pieces of soap. And I took my washcloth, took the soap, rubbed up my washcloth, washed off my body, rinsed, didn't think anything of it. My son came back to me and said, Dad, did you use any of those soap bars? Yeah. Which ones? Oh, the broken ones, the ones that didn't seem to be, like you were using them. He went on to explain that those were the ones that he used for his personal space, shall we say. Yeah. Needless to say, neither he nor I have touched those bars of soap since. This comedy routine brought to you by the Acme Emergency Sewing Kit. Do you have a problem that's wholly up to you to solve? So what? Your shirt? Your pants? With the Acme Emergency Sewing Kit, just grab it and get straight to the needle point. The Acme Emergency Sewing Kit. Because at Acme, we don't give a rip. We repair them.